Well, let's start out in Pittsburgh here, Chase, because I'll be rolling through Latrobe sometime early next month as soon as I get those flights booked and know where I'm headed for Inside Training Camp Live on NFL Network. Russell Wilson certainly, it's Mike Tomlin said it repeatedly. He's in the pole position. They made clear to him when they traded for Justin Fields, this is still your job. I also know this. Justin Fields has never shown consistently that he can play winning football at quarterback, but he is somebody who you put him in a preseason game, you put him in a package, he does dynamic stuff that nobody else can do. So how does this play out, not just in training camp leading up to week 1, but over the course of the season for the Steelers?
Yeah, look, I do think that Russell Wilson is definitely in the pole position right now, and I think I agree with it. I'm not sure, because I'm a big fan of Justin Fields. Everyone knows, if they've been following my social media for the past 6, 7, 8 months, that I'm a big fan of his. Look, Russell, I think, is coming off of a really disastrous sort of 2-3 year tenure in Denver, and he's trying to search for a new home. If he can play under offensive coordinator Arthur Smith like he played in Seattle, then he's got a shot. I just think those days are a little bit behind him. I do think that the offense that Arthur Smith brings is you're pounding the football. It's heavy play action, under center, shots down the field. And I do like that. But my thing about Justin Fields is I think he's a more dynamic player right now in his career than Russell Wilson. I think the run game, QB run game packages that Arthur Smith will have built in, because he will have packages in the regular season. I just think that it's so much more of a dynamic style offense. That, to me, screams Pittsburgh. You play defense, you win with your run game, and if you can have a quarterback do what Justin Fields can do in the run game, I just think it's a recipe for success for them. I think that eventually, probably sooner rather than later, I think Justin Fields is going to see the field a lot more than a whole lot of people probably think.
When you're talking about a guy, Chase, who was dealt away for practically nothing, for a day 3 pick. He started a ton of games. He was a first-round pick. It was a prior regime, but they traded up to get Fields in the draft. You're a big fan of him. What do you see on tape that maybe he hasn't been asked to do enough? And how do you get him to be closer to a finished picture, a finished player playing the quarterback position?
Well, I think you got to have a really good quarterback room, a really good quarterback coach. And with Justin Fields specifically, you look at the first really 10 games of the first year he was a starter, they were running an offense that just didn't fit him at all. And you look back to 2 years ago in the New England Patriots game, something clicked within that offense. They unleashed him as a runner. He finished the season off well. You go back to this past year in 2023, he started off really, really well. And look, that offense just wasn't fit for him. Kansas City Chiefs game, they're running under center play action style throws that don't fit his style. The next week they go out there, he has his 2 best games back to back, ends up hurting his thumb, or gets hurt I think the Minnesota game, and then he ends up sitting out 6 or 7 games, and then plays really well down the stretch, and quite honestly has them a half a game out of a playoff spot, a wild card spot. And so I just look at him from what I think his ceiling can be. If you get him in a right offense, if you get him in a, say, Lamar Jackson style offense or a Patrick Mahomes style offense where there's a lot of RPOs, there's a lot of, hey, pure progression reads, sweep the field. Here's 1. If he's not open, go to 2. If he's not open, just go run. And I do think he needs to continue to improve. I think, honestly, Mike Tomlin's the best head coach for him to do that. There's going to be a lot to prove for him. I see these videos, Tom, of him working out in the offseason. Dude looks absolutely jacked and absolutely focused. I'm excited to see what kind of stories come out of training camp with them.
You spent a good chunk of your career as a backup quarterback, and they never asked you to return a kick, to do some special package down by the goal line. In your mind, just philosophically, if you wanted to find a way for Justin Fields to get on the field, would you put him out there in any non-quarterback roles, even if it's just a spot gadget thing that you do once or twice?
I definitely think so. And talking with my co-host of Scoop City, we just released it. He will have packages on the field at quarterback. Now, I don't know if he's going to be at running back, or if you see that 2 quarterback package with Russell and Justin where he's split out. He is a dynamic playmaker. And if you can get the ball in a dynamic playmaker's hands in that style of offense that Arthur Smith runs with that defense. Quite honestly, if the Pittsburgh Steelers score 20, 21 points a game, they're going to win 10 plus games this year. So you got to go in saying, hey, we got to score 3 touchdowns. If Justin Fields is part of that package in the red zone, and you go 3 straight quarterback runs up the gut, and he's just dynamic enough to make somebody miss or to make something out of nothing, I think you got to go with it.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.